Mr. Wartsky here again. This is the third screencast in the nervous system series. This is the last slide that we ended up with prior to ending the second screencast. So if you take a look, if you want to look some more, you can pause. It's an amazing structure. So the limbic system is found at the border between the diencephalon and the cerebrum. The limbic system is responsible for emotions in the amygdala. And the amygdala is located right here. And then we have the hippocampus, which is right around here. Right, amygdala and hippocampus. Is it up here? Yep, we have, right, the amygdala, hippocampus. Amazing. Memory is found in the hippocampus, where emotions are found in the amygdala. Brainstem is next, and the brainstem contains the mesencephalon, pons, and the medulla oblongata. The mesencephalon processes the visual and auditory information and sends it to the thalamus, so it can end up in the right place. The mesencephalon also contains the reticular formation system, and now that regulates sleep and arousal. That seem like opposite things, don't they? Sleep and arousal. Now the RAS is also here that this allows you to filter out senses. So as you're sitting there, you're able to ignore a lot of things because of the RAS system. Like the clothes in your back, the seat against your rear end, a lot of the sound that may be coming, the smell. So it allows you to filter out stuff. The pons, we said before, connects the cerebellum to the brainstem. It also connects it basically connects all the brain parts together. The pons also helps control breathing. Now the medulla relays information to the thalamus, it connects the spinal cord to the brainstem, and the medulla regulates heart rate, blood pressure, digestion, swallowing, and vomiting. So you do have a vomit center. It's in the medulla. And here is the brainstem. So the thalamus at the top, we have the medulla down here, the spinal cord's there, pons. We just talked about this stuff. It's amazing. Parts of the cerebrum, that's our forebrain. The basal nuclei is the basal ganglion responsible for motor coordination, planning, and learning motor sequences. Also, the subconscious control of skeletal muscles. Like you do something, you don't even know how you did it because of your basal nuclei. We have a motor and sensory area. The primary motor cortex is the control of the voluntary muscles. The primary sensory cortex makes sense of your sense. So the thalamus gets the sensory information and passes it to your appropriate sensory cortex. The premotor cortex coordinates learned movements. Like if you're a dancer, you're using your premotor cortex. And there's another part, picture of the brain, all the things that it does. We have the premotor cortex here, the primary motor cortex there, right? Prefrontal, Broca's area allows you to speak, olfactory, smell, limbic, yeah. Talked about those before, the hippocampus and the amygdala. Yep. The integrative centers receive information and then direct complex motor activities. For example, the Wernicke's area, which is usually in the left hemisphere, receives information from all sensory areas and then plays a role in personality and will also access memories. The Broca's area, which is again in the left hemisphere, coordinates speech muscles, so it allows you to talk. The prefrontal cortex coordinates information relayed from the entire cortex, performs intellectual functions like the ability to understand this screencast, prefrontal cortex, predict consequences of events or actions. Feelings of frustration, tension, anxiety are located in the prefrontal cortex. Now, the hemispheres are equal in potential but not identical. Each hemisphere must communicate with each other through the corpus callosum, which connects the two hemispheres. If that's somehow damaged or cut, you will literally have two separate brains and they compete with each other. But the right hemisphere is frustrated because it cannot communicate, cannot talk like the left hemisphere does with the Broca's area. It's kind of weird. Now, they thought that the left brain is an analytical or mathematical or logical, and the right brain is spatially orientated, and that's where you have your emotions. Now, there's a test that we're going to do in class that talks about the left brain and right brain. It's really easy. But here's a little thing that talks about the different parts or different things that you do with the left and right. Hit pause if you need to. And I think that's it. Yeah. So if you have any questions, please read your textbook, watch the video over again, or ask me in class tomorrow. Have a wonderful evening.